What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of trying to make Farming Simulator 25 the most realistic farm sim yet. We got our work cut out for us, so we're about halfway through this sorghum field. The other two fields are done and mulched. I decided to put Junior on the equipment. Figured mulching was something simple he could do, so did a good job. And then myself and then our hired hand over here, which we got to come up with a name for. Try not to ruin the sorghum here. But we're, yeah, this header is so big we actually can't drive into it straight on anymore. So it's unfortunate that that's the way that falls, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. You know, weird glitch there because of the rail. Hopefully it keeps unloading all the way. It wants to move. No. Okay. Well, it's just about done anyway. But yeah, everything's been kind of running. Junior's just parked the 6M up there with a mulcher. Part of me wants to get them going on the headlands, do like 3-4 headlands. Which maybe that's what I should do, is set him up on a headland track. Mulching texture is quite interesting too, so let's drive up here actually. Maybe that's the plan to kind of get that started. I think with this 9 meter we can do probably 5 headlands, 4 headlands. It should be fine. But yeah, probably need to get him going on that just so it's, you know, something that's taken care of here. Okay. It's outstanding. We can start on the headlands. They can definitely do probably 4. I always forget that BC Bueller has a harrow that works as a mulcher. So maybe that might be something we invest in down the road with these larger fields. There you go, first waypoint should be right about here. Yeah, Junior seems to be doing okay. Jump over that. Little cool moment there, dangerous, but cool. Alright, but I have been running the Nemesis, and you know, hopefully the plan is, and actually that truck, I think our truck's out of the way. So I got the missus just sitting in that, she's running that. I need to get the helper names all set up too. I think it's the helper ID mod that does that. So I might have to finally add that and implement that now that we're going to start using the family. Just so it doesn't look like we're just hiring random workers all the time, you know? But we're getting there. I want to say probably got another couple hours of harvest here. And then on the 3rd tomorrow, see, there goes again, full. We'll just swing right in here. That should be enough to get it. But we'll go and look at the weather. I'm not seeing, well, chance of tornado later. Technically right now, tomorrow. But ideally, I want to get corn in the ground now. So next month we can do soybeans in this field. Just kind of hop out. Nitrogen, not too bad. This will be good. This whole big field will be soybeans. The other 2 little ones will be, the smaller ones will be corn. But I think that'll work out for us. Actually, I don't even see. That 6M's not even close to coming around yet. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's a massive field. I wanted to use the tandem. Unfortunately, the slightest turn would throw that out of whack. It doesn't seem to have like a good weight balance. We actually got rid of the second piece of the tandem because I was going to run 2 tractors with it. Just do a 2-tool course. And unfortunately, it like, when closing, it pivoted on the side a little bit, and that completely like broke it. So we sent that back. All right, 6 sums down over in the corner. But yes, it's been a process, that's for sure. We have a lot of sorghum, and we've had a couple trucks off that small field to my left. Let's actually look in here to our productions. So we're at 277,000 liters already in the dryer system. And that's after we've already produced 25,000. So I'm going to go ahead and say, what's a ratio, 50 to 45? So I'm going to say we had probably 30,000 we've already processed. So pretty good. Top dollar for the market showing a 713 on that. So that should be pretty good income for us. Be interesting to see. And that's a January sale, so that's nice. So we'll have that for a while. We'll have to move that into one of our silos probably after the eco bins. There we are, we're full again. Pretty quick turnaround how often this fills up, which is the other complication. Not complication, I mean it's good that we're actually yielding what should be a good yield. Is it loading the map? It is. So I'm definitely taking a lot of that off, which is fine because the beans don't need it. I mean, I think sorghum, we're like 120 to 125% on that one half of the field, which is quite nice. Same with the other side. I mean, that's all 100%. Some 85 there, some 95. Nothing really terrible. A little bit of a 65 up in the corner. But pretty solid take yield-wise for the most part all around. So I'm pretty happy with our situation. Like I said, this will be essentially I would call this a good double crop at the moment, in a way. We'll see how we turn out with beans and corn. But I would say with the amount of sorghum we generated, I think we made the right choice by going with winter sorghum. I just need to figure out crop or stubble destruction. That's kind of the one area right now that I need to do. I have to see how to get that back. I think this last update, talking with the Delta South guys, and it's not just their map I'm seeing, and a few others that use Thunder's scripting. And we already know Thunder's working hard in the background, behind the scenes, trying to get a lot of it sorted. So big shout out to him. But I would say it's definitely something in the last update from Giants broke all the scripts that allowed you to have this double destruction. The only one that I see that's somewhat working, and there's a few crops that aren't anymore, is on Judith Plains. But I've noticed even like corn is like hit or miss on its double destruction. And look at that, just as we emptied, he's ready to unload again. I just saw the 6 sentinels right there. That's on its first pass, so that's going to be a while. See if we can sneak in here. Blocked by an object. Must have been me. I don't think it would have been the truck. The truck should be driving around and loading. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say, because we're bringing another 60,000, we're going to probably hit 400,000 liters of sorghum between these 3 fields, which is wild to me. But we're going to continue trucking on. And like I said, we'll once we get done this, get everything mulched in. Probably tomorrow, we'll the last section of April, we'll get to almost just broke that hitch. We'll end up getting into planting our corn, and then like I said, this field next month. So we got time to do this field to mulch it, but next month we'll do soybeans. But we'll keep trekking on, and I'll see y'all shortly. So we made it through the night. It was like 9:30 in game at night when we got done harvesting the sorghum. We got quite a bit. I think it was almost 500,000 liters, if not more. We'll check that in a second. Right now I'm looking at the nitrogen levels. I think we're pretty solid. I'm probably going to have to go get more liquid fert either way, I think. But 139, that'll be soybeans, so not really worried about that. But 143 will probably use some. 145, not that much, but some interesting striping going on through there. So we'll see. And we got a double click going on. pH levels, there's some blue out there. A little worried about that, which is kind of interesting because that's the new, that's where we connected those fields and brought those fields together. So kind of skeptical that we might have too high of a pH in those little small sections, but they're somewhat small strips. At least that's what they look at from up here, but they're actually fairly large. It's at least probably 10 to 12 meters width. Going back at it, yield pretty solid on 139. Taking the sorghum, not bad on 143, and was pretty good on 145 on the north part of that field. So pretty delighted with that. We'll see what comes of it. With that said, before we actually go down here, so dried sorghum, so 404,000 liters there. We've already got 68,000, so probably at 80,000, so almost 500,000. So not bad at all. Like I said, right now we're gonna get the corn planted, hoping we have enough. We still have seeds, I think. I'm gonna go run over here and actually see what we have left in our unearth, because I think it just might actually be all fertilizer now. Yes, it is. So we actually have no seed and, well, no liquid fert, because we used the last tote we had that we got on sale over there. And actually over here, just kind of want to take a gander. Lime seeds, yeah, for $6.99, we're gonna go ahead and buy that. Well, we can. Pretty sure we don't have any other seeds stowed anywhere. And kind of make sure we're not missing anything else. We have a Fent paralevel. I don't think that has a long pipe on it though. No. We need something with a longer pipe for our header. A little bit longer, but that's similar to our case. Not gonna work. No, international. $12,000. almost 21 hours. How old? 22 months? No way. It's a white eagle. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, it's a Smebby one. All right. That's a steal. We can add stuff to it later, but out of curiosity, we can customize the color. What do we want to go with here? know what? I have an idea. I like that barn red. And then we bring in... Is it onyx? Like it now. We want black. We want to go jet black. Like so. Then I would say design color. Like that right there. That I like. I think that's a nice little ride. We get rid of the plate. We don't need plates in this. I mean, for the price, it's $14.8. We got to do some maintenance to it. But I think, yeah, we're going to buy that straight up. Gives us a second truck. Eventually we'll, well, now I'm thinking about it. Wasn't there, well, it's a dump end. Was there not another? It might be gone. All right. So we got 2 new harvesters that were on there, which is not a bad price, but we're looking for something with a long pipe option. So we have more seed. We'll have to buy more liquid fert. And then I'm just going to probably start it down on this end by the dryer. Make the turn here without ripping everything out. So it says, as you can see in the up on the display in the upper right, a tornado warning. Not sure how I feel about that. All right. So we're gonna get this. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Do we want to get the worker on this? Or should we do this? There's always quite a bit of fog down there. I'm feeling like I need to go get seed and liquid fert. So we're going to have the worker actually do this. Yeah, we're not trying to load a course, but thanks. I'm starting in the center. It's 18 meters. I think 1 headland should be enough. I'm going to do a little bit of overlap just to keep it on course. Like I said, hopefully our hired hand can handle it. Never mind, it's the missus. The missus is driving. Alright. Really need to get the hired helper mod up and running on this so you can see the name above it. I'll walk up the hill here. And I'll grab my truck and then... Do I buy a bunch of seed pallets? I don't think we have to go crazy to take the load king. I think we can take a 5th wheel. Or sorry, the gooseneck. I think we take the gooseneck. I think that's the play. We go pick up some extra stuff. I thought there was a way to roll down my windows. Oh well. I mean, what does that do? That rotates that. The one thing about this, I will say, it is quite difficult to operate this. It looks like he is running. May have had center on. Now that I think about it. Let's drop that tailgate. Oh, we gotta move the Kubota. Wouldn't it be something if I could hook on the Kubota and have that move the prowler? So I should be able to drive right up in here. Yeah, what else we were putting in here at one point? Oh, it was the bale wrapper. I realize I left those open. Don't really need those on. Had to make sure my backing up was correct. All right. Goosenecks on. Let's see if we get out of here without taking anything out. As I say that, I literally hit the door. I really need to get the course play button changed. I keep saying that. I think next pause we have in the recording, I think that's what we're going to change. And I'll probably make a little call in. So we want some liquid for what we need. So consumables, first things first, we want more seeds. Do we want bags? I mean, big bags just aren't it. So I'm going to get, because we can refill the unbirth, which, I mean, ultimately I should be putting that on. And that should all be seed. But let's go. Oh, we already got 5. So we got a bag down there. So there's 6 of total of those. And then go down to consumables. Liquid fur, the Pilser pack was the cheaper one, right? Yeah, and we're gonna want probably 4 of those. Spending money. We're down to 168 in the bank account. Oh, my truck's down there too. We're gonna have to figure out how to get that back. But it looks like corn planting's going good. Like I said, hopefully this twister doesn't hit us. I haven't had one of those projected in a long time. But we'll get there, we'll get them loaded, and see y'all shortly. Hopefully with no twister. Well, we're still been hit by the twister, tornado, whatever you want to call it. We did have a minor breakdown. I've got it sorted. Was able to top off a little bit of liquid fur in the seed. We're still burning through it fairly well down here, though. So I'm just going to finish up because it's pretty much, we just had a couple up and down roads, and then we got the headlands. But I've got no GPS or track set up, so bear with me here. I'm not going to pretend to be a straight line kind of operator behind the wheel. That corner. I feel like we could blow that corner out a little bit and expand our roadway so we're not on such a slope here, but we just never seem to get to it with planters or seeders, so. Just about done. We get down there, and then like I said, we'll cross right over into that other patch. I'll probably set up a GPS track for that one. Might put a worker on that. We might actually jump into the Kubota and have been check on our silage bales. Kind of see where those are at and fermenting. Because I would love to get those to market eventually. Before the end of summer, for our next round. It'd be nice to kind of move those off if the price is right. I mean, if the price isn't right, we're not going to push it. Just be nice to have that extra income to go with it, you know? Probably have to turn this corner, unfortunately, just because of the way I merged into that other row. kind of see how we can do this here. I might be able to actually just butter it. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. Can I get between that tree? There we go. Shut it down. All right. So this is a really good planter, by the way. I know SimStation's been playing around with that as well, but I will say this is a good planter. So let's pull in over here. Let's get the course set up for our worker. Generate. Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't going to give me that. I think one headland will be fine. Might get clipped right there. Can we do two? Probably do two on this field. Yeah, that seemed to fix a lot of the issues we had. So we'll jump out. Oh, we'll run up to our Kubota, and then we're going to drive that over to the hay barn. Or I should say our hoop barn over there. Actually, that looks nice. You can see it sets up nicely over there. I think that was a smart decision on our part. I don't have any road that cuts through. Oh, left the grill lid open. Remember to close that before weather gets really terrible. Get this thing to start up here. Something's slipping. Felt that when I was backing up. Let's take a little gander here. See what's going on. No, we're gonna have to pull it forward. A little maintenance option right around here. Tires. Tires are only 2%. Why is it saying? I don't know why it's telling us. $256. This is expensive. So we got the end breath loaded over here. Not sure if we'll need it. We got 4 liquid fertilizer bins, so we're good there. Let's zoom on over. Should be, we got a few more months before we see some more calves, but herd's looking good. Herd is looking good. Pretty happy with it. So far, knock on wood, no glitches or issues with this animal livestock mod and the vanilla update of the animals. I do wish kind of had the Herefords in it as well. Herefords, however you want to pronounce it. I'm probably butchering it like I always do everything and anything in this game when it comes to names, so I do apologize. But feel free to correct me and spell it out down below in the comments. There's like a plexiglass up here. Interesting. Alright. Let's see what we got going on here. Square bale. No, let me see. I always forget where the trigger is on this. Hello? Are we gonna have to go to the menu to find out where our trigger is? Enter vehicle. Unless I'm like on it. Suspension belt. No. There it is. There it is. Way out here. Let's just take... Got 94. There, 60% fermented. Push that back in. Like so. Alright, so... next month, maybe? Equipment. Gotta get a pressure washer built in over here. How's all this growing back? This is growing, looks okay. Obviously it says it needs rolling, right on. And so that'll be pretty close come July. Quite happy with it, to be honest with you. Like I said, massive field for us to get some silage off. I'm still going to take silage off this one, and then we'll take hay off our other field. Sure know what is coming. Beautiful part about living this far away from town is I can just whip up and down the roads with a Kubota if I want. Just like this. Thing says it gets up to 40. We're going to test that. I don't see... Actually, let's slow down. Don't see the planter. Must be on the other side. Some decent fog in this field again. It's funny, with my foot on the pedal right now, I get 20. When I switch over to cruise control, it'll actually kick all the way up. I don't mind this little field over here. It's kind of nice. Like I said, we're going to focus more on what's next to our silo system or dryer. Buying that area. Some of these trees probably going to be cut down too. Running into the fence line. Everything's good about this as well. This was definitely a good harvest all around. I'm pretty stoked. Like I said, we're starting to get things in order. I'm hoping we get a better soybean yield. You know, I'm hopeful. That's the big thing. I'm hopeful. We'll see. I mean, sorghum did well, but in fairness, it was wet spring. Sorghum shines during that, as it loves to pick up the moisture. But I'm hoping our fields will also be the right moisture level now. All right. Try not to run right across our field here. But no, I definitely like it. And there's our planter. Running that. Is that already? Oh, you know what? They're doing the headlands first. That's why they're going around so fast. I was like, wow, they already did the up and downs. Alright, that makes sense. Let's check this out. What are we looking at here? Corn. I don't need rolling, obviously, but pH level's not terrible. Nitrogen levels perfect. Is that 200? Is that right? Why does that seem so high? Corn It's not supposed to be 200. Right? I didn't think corn nitrogen levels were supposed to be that high. That means we are burning through... Oh yeah, down here, same thing. Wow. That means we are burning through liquid fert like crazy. So that's probably actually almost out. So we better get this back in the shed, and then we'll probably get the truck ready to go meet them and refill. That's interesting. We're actually putting a lot of fert out there. Let's back this in. Should probably just put the fifth wheel straight back here. Put the capote off to the side, because then I can still maneuver in and out with that. We're not noon yet. I do want to see anything new to our likings. Nothing yet. Pivot. Oh yeah, we can pivot right here. That's beautiful. Actually, let's take a minute when we're right here. Let's look at the herd. So we got a couple right there. That's looking good. 40%, 10%, 30%. So we actually have a lot of calves coming. About time. So the bulls are doing their job. This one's too young to really do anything yet. That one pulling the weight. Angus is yes. No. I'm not 32 months. They're still not. I'm wondering if we should do a manual insemination on that one. 20%, 30%. That's still in puberty. It's fine. Still in puberty. That bull's definitely doing the work. The other two, too young. So not bad. I mean, we're going to have a pretty solid... Oh, I didn't even see those. Got two there. Two there. There's no Angus stacked up like that. No. All right. So that's actually pretty good. So we'll be definitely doubling those numbers. Like I said, we'll have to make some more hay bales, because we are going to have to keep them fed. And ideally, I'm wondering if we'll need to they'll hurt. And so let's jump in. He's right there. So it's actually not burning that much liquid fert. Get those track lines off. So I thought for sure... Okay, this is where my frustration is, if they don't fill that gap right there. But they're at 46%, so that's not... Yeah, they don't need me. So I'm going to leave the truck there. We're going to jump out, because what we do need to actually do is we need to go get the roller. And we need to roll this field, and we need to roll that cornfield. I think that's just the ideal opportunity we have here to knock that out and hopefully be in a good spot. Look at the steam coming off our dryer system. Love that. Love to see it. We do get the weight on the Nemesis. Should be just fine. Should have enough power to do the job we need it to do. And then I'm still wondering, do I run the spray on it right off? This thing likes to slide a lot. I noticed when you oh man, of course, there we go. It loves to slide a lot every time you close out of the save game. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm not gonna try to go down through all the other stuff here. You get jammed up with this thing again. And honestly, I want to start it up on the hill. We can get this unfolded. Takes the hydraulic pump a second. And we're good to go. I want to get myself a course here. There we go. Perfect. Oh. Probably have to come touch that up after, but oh well. So, shockingly not burning through. We've gone through, what, 30% of what our was left in our tank. We had like 70% when we got over there. So, interesting. And it looks like they heard me because he looks like he did go back and fix that. As he should have. Sometimes I do wish we did have a slightly smaller roller. But honestly, then we go to those big fields and I'm like, okay. Trying to see if you did fill that in. Looks like you did. I hope they did. I'll be frustrated if they did not. But yeah, we'll be able to roll this one, roll the next one. And then from there, I think you can kind of roll into next month. I'm keeping my eye out, like I said, for a harvester. We need to find something with a longer pipe. So it allows our workers to work a little smoother when we get them to harvest. As much as I would like to have, it's either that or the other option is 2 harvesters. And we actually sell that MacDon head and go to a smaller one. Because in fairness, that MacDon head is huge. And we were having trouble keeping up or running the cart on it. It was essentially running out. Well, we're essentially having to unload it fairly often, which, you know, with it's a yield issue, or when it's that great of yield, it's great. I mean, sorghum, we did have a good yield, but we're also pulling a lot. So, something for us to think about. Like I said, keeping my eye out for different harvesters. Honestly, wouldn't mind the John Deere, one of the S700 series. I'd be fine with one of those with a longer pipe. You know, the ideals, those are nice. Doesn't matter if it's Fett or Massey. Like, there's 2 right now in there. They just are all short pipe. They're all like 7 to 8. That's just not going to work. So, something we just have to be patient with, keep an eye on. I mean, usually we get, I wouldn't say lucky, but usually it felt like last year we did see quite a few pop up right around July. So, fingers crossed that happens again, and maybe we have something to jump on. I mean, don't get me wrong, our case has been unbelievable. I put that thing through some serious work already, but I'm open to moving on with technology. If there's something newer out there, or even something with a larger hopper, I also would not be against. I think that one right there is 10,000, give or take. Yeah, it's 10,000. And how many hours do we have on that harvester? 21 hours. It is 33 months old. Holds 10,500 liters. So that makes, yeah. I mean, that's pretty good for the most part. For a lot of, I would say for a lot of the harvesters in the game, I think that's pretty good. It was just, I wish there was an adjustable pipe for that, but it is what it is. But we do, if we're going to run that Mac-Don header, I think we definitely need to purchase something with a larger pipe system and probably a little more power behind it as well. Like I said, the ideals work. Cloths. I would repaint that Mac-Don if we could score a cloths better. Put new stickers on it. There's a couple of cloths that are out there too. Not on the market right now, but there's a few that I can think of that I think do have the longer pipe options. I think they're all the night edition ones, but those wouldn't be too shabby. I'm just going to follow this to the end here. Swing around. And like I said, this roller doesn't take too long. This roller is getting pretty dinged up though. As you can see. It's got some battle scars. I did get a comment the other day. It might have been through Discord. Pretty sure it was. You're not playing realistic because you don't have rocks on. So here's, which I told this person, I haven't responded to it, but here's my thing with stones, rocks, whatever you want to call them in Farming Sim 25. They are what weeds were in FS19. No matter what you do, they're just out of control. If there was like a better reason to them, I would have no problem going out there and, you know, stone picking. They don't really do damage. They negatively affect your yield no matter what you do. You could pick stones and your yield would still tank because it would somehow still say stones are there. I think that was an issue Precision Farming had actually. But I turned them off just because, you know, they're not realistic. I would prefer to see, like, here's a large stone, here's some pebbles, here's a large stone, medium stone, so on and so forth. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments about stones in Farm Sim. I personally don't think they add up to the value that they could. And I know you could say, oh, you could do your own lime and you got to buy the production site. You got, you know, a lot of people have small crushers already in place. Try to get on this track here. So that's just my thought with the stones. You can let me know down below what you think of stones as well. Like I said, to me, it's a cut and paste. That's the other thing with stones. In a field, they're cut and paste. So you have all your corn texture, stuff like that. You expect those to every, you know, 5x5 grid on the map to continue to be that. When stones are that, it just doesn't look good. That's kind of my other gripe with it. They just don't look good. But, you know, down the road, maybe it'll get better. You know, like, let me get some of those stones and then I can stack them like that. That, I think, would be awesome. So what we're going to do right here is we're going to actually swing down and try to clean all this up. Which I think we can get most of it, which is fine. Just that little sliver. Looks like our planter is rolling through that field. And I think the other night we're having a talk in the stream when to roll and when not to roll. Soybeans was the one that seemed to be the common one that people would roll on, but can't really think of people doing it with corn. They might roll it just before. So that's another thing that, you know, kind of wonder. But we'll go with the game setup on the rolling aspect, because it does actually have a proper effect on yield. Makes 5% difference. But when you don't roll, you get punished, and when you do roll, you get rewarded. Even though our crops last time around weren't the greatest. Before the sorghum, our beans definitely took a hit. Corn wasn't too bad though, I don't think. That one field of corn I think was okay. Which was good, because I think it actually was our money crop. I'm wondering if I want to be able to jump right in that other field over there. Interested to see how much is left. Then I had to see if, I don't think we can fit that unearth in that shed. So my goal was I can just drive that, leave that on the gooseneck and drive it right back in. Just about done rolling. And our planter is finished. So I like to see that. Probably won't refill any of that yet. Actually, you know what? With soybeans coming up, I will probably actually top all that off while we have the truck out. It'll be interesting to see how much soybeans we go through planting over here. And like I said, hopefully great yield comes from it. We'll pull to the end of this, and we'll fold this back up like so. There you go, snap it around. That's the only thing. I wish there was, so that middle piece in the back, right there, where those two joints come together, I do wish there was an option to link that to keep it all flowing together and not instead snapping into like a Z shape or something like that. And we are fighting the gears here. I also wish you could technically, like, I mean, it lifts them off the ground, but I wish you could lift them a little bit higher. We're getting some momentum now. We're going downhill. I wish my marker would take the planter back over here. So I'm going to actually loop around. I'll drive right back over this. So we get this set up to run. But I think that'll do it for this episode, because we know, still twister warning. But we'll get this set up to run, and then we come back, we'll probably be planting soybeans, and we'll get to see how much the market is either in our favor or not in our favor. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Y'all have been amazing. We just hit 1,400 subscribers now on YouTube. I think we finally hit double digits on Twitch. So, like I said, everybody's crushing it. I appreciate the support. You all know who you are. You continue to show up, live streams, videos, the comment sections, smashing the like button, sharing across the social medias. We really do appreciate it for the channel. I'll catch y'all next time. Farmer Taz out.